a new episode of Flash the Yarn, if actually the first episode of Flash the Yarn in this format. My name is Caroline. I am a French expatriate. I've lived in Dunedin, New Zealand, South Island for about 4 years with my partner Sim. I am the dyer behind yeahyeahyarn, which is my little sword trading business, and I've been doing this for 3 years now. Yeah, I've created this channel a while ago, then dropped out of it. Now I'm coming back, and yeah, so now I'm like dedicated to put episodes monthly. This episode is not a podcast episode in which I'm showing you knitting and all of that. The podcast episode will be released very soon, because I'm filming it today as well, and it will be released sometime next week. But this is the episode of Flash the Yarn. So Flash the Yarn is an episode in which it's shorter, and it's an episode in which I'm showing you pretty much the yarn that I've dyed throughout the months and that I'm putting in my shop update coming this Sunday. Today is Friday. Today's Friday. So I'm gonna film this, edit it and post it by either today or tomorrow, so that you guys can have a look at the yarn in person. I believe that the yarn always shine brighter in camera than it does on pictures, and it's just easier for me to show you possible combos with it. Yeah, so I've done an episode like this before, although it wasn't a podcast episode, and it resulted in a very long episode, so I decided to just cut these separately. So now I'm gonna have the podcast episode in which, yeah, I'm showing you knitting and so on and so forth, and everything that's shop related, and yeah, like yarn coming to the shop and all that will be in Flash the Yarn, and these will come every month just before I release an update. Yay. So social media, you can follow me at yeahyeahyarn on pretty much everything that it is here. Please subscribe and share, and on Instagram, which is where I'm the most active, so you can follow my stories here. This is where I leave all my update day to day of what's happening and everything. So just yeah, encourage you, if you have Instagram, to follow me there and contact me there, as I am most active there. But I am also on Facebook at yeahyeahyarn as well. That's about it. I'm not really using anything else. Obviously my website yeahyeahyarn.com, and I've got yeahyeahyarn@gmail.com. Would you want to ask me any more specific question, don't hesitate to contact me. All right, let's go. I'm not gonna lose too much time. As I said, I've got like this episode to film and then the podcast episode, so I just want to get on with it and chat with you guys, and show you all the yarn that I'm bringing to you this September update. We are starting with the colorway SJW. So I'll just talk a little bit about this firsthand, not too much. You guys probably already know if you follow me. So SJW is a colorway I've created last update. It was initially 2 skeins. It was just like a one-of-a-kind accident recipe that I was not planning on redoing, and I named it SJW simply because at the time, okay, if you don't know, SJW stands for Social Justice Warrior, and it is a term, very 2020, very modern millennial term that's been you know, moniker that's been given to people that defend human rights online and will do call-out culture for people that need to own up to, you know, racism is the main thing, but, you know, feminism, human rights in general, and, you know, gender equality, just all of that. So SJW have now, like, was initially a very positive term for people that were actually doing the work, you know, in trying to change mentalities around the world, and then over time became this negative term, because I guess, you know, as even everywhere, you always have people that maybe go too far and everything. And so maybe there's been some SJW that have ended up either harassing or bullying, which, you know, is part of the call-out culture, but there's obviously a way to do it. Personally, I prefer doing it differently. I also support everyone doing it their way, but I'm saying, yes. So pretty much it became this negative term of, ooh, you just, you know, cancel culture and call-out culture and, you know, just leave us alone sort of thing. And I just hate that. Like, I hate how it became this negative term associated with maybe bullying online, and that we forgot the sole purpose of what this means, which is someone that truly cares about human rights and equality for everyone, and that will actually take part of their time and their mental health to, you know, stand up for people that maybe don't have the energy to fight anymore for themselves after years and years of trying and not succeeding and being told ask us nicely, you know, all of that. So pretty much, yeah, I really support that movement. And I mean, I would call myself a social justice warrior, you know, as well. I don't do it as much online because I don't know, I have a way of looking at it when I think you have to do it in a way that it depends who your audience is, obviously, and who you are. Obviously, if you're you know, a person of color or a transgender person or anyone that's directly affected by these issues, like your voice is, what's the word? Your voice is above all. You know, you can decide to call out however you want, obviously, because this is personal to you. I personally choose to try and explain on the nicer side of things and only resolve to being maybe a little more aggressive and straight to the point when the message doesn't get there. But I believe that if you try and explain to people rather than accuse them, they're less likely to get on the defensive and more likely to listen to your message. I'm afraid of people getting on the defensive because then they reinforce their belief that you're the enemy and you're the bullying, and so their views are probably the right ones, which is what I'm the most afraid of, and I don't want to reinforce that. So anyways, all that to say that I'm not doing it as much online. I am vocal about my beliefs and so on and so forth, but I'm trying, except for supporting when there's actually like a big, you know, call out thing, I'm trying to stay kind of out of it, and I'm doing it more in person in my day-to-day life. So when I see someone in my life that is saying something that is inappropriate, I like to call them out. So, and I, you know, it's not popular with everyone, of course, but yeah, I don't do it for that. So I do it for the people that have done it so many times and have just not gone the message through thick heads, and we just need to stand with them. So that's it. So that was a short message, but anyways, I ended up dying a little bit of that. It became very popular because there is quite a lot of SJW out there, and people wanted more of it, and so I tweaked it and I tried to recreate the recipe, and I promised that I was going to bring much more in the next update. So the main colorway for this update is SJW. I also like to call it sometimes social justice winner rather than warrior. Some people have said, oh, you know, warrior means you're going to war, and it's like, yeah, there is that, but there's also like, we are what's coming, you know, this is rising, the world is changing, get with it. So anyways, I will show you all of that now. I have it on every base, and so you will see in the website it will be separated in 2 batches. The reason for that is that, as I said, it's not the easiest of recipe. It's actually a mix of Mikado, which is my old recipe, another colorway, and then there's over dyeing on top of that. And because I'm playing with some fluoro colors that are very finicky, I'll explain that quickly. The problem with these fluoro colors, like this one is specifically, the way I achieve it, it's not like a set color. I actually mix dyes to get there. It has that potential of just constantly leaking. So like, say I put a point and it's quite saturated it's a coral fluoro kind of thing, which I love to do in many other colorways. I've done it before in Gemini. I have my coral vibe colorway, which is just that. Anyways, so, you know, I'll do like a spot of it either by having like a mixed dye solution with that's already in liquid form, or have like just speckle 2 colors in this spot and then melt them together. Problem with that is that I need to set it and quite fast, and then remove the yarn, all that, because the dye will keep leaking throughout the whole skein, and then turn everything that's white in this like light pink corally color. Obviously still saturated where I initially placed it, but it just ends up leaking. So as I tweaked the recipe, I realized that that was happening, and it kept happening pretty much on every base. So I've like worked out a way now, after I worked on it, to not do this anymore. The final recipe, which I'll bring again in future, although I did deplete my dye stock quite heavily on some colors for doing as much as I did of this yarn, so it's not going to be here for a few months after that. But what I was saying is, yeah, So there will be 2 batches. The first batches is the final colorway, which is the one that will stay in future, which is supposed to have white space in it. So white space, and the fluoro is lesser and just more concentrated in spots. Towards this batch number 2, which is also beautiful, and obviously I'm not going to toss an entire batch out. I actually really like it as well, and it would be amazing fade if you get one of each and meld them together. Batch number 2 is actually the batch that I did first, which is the one in which the leakage happened, and there's pretty much no more white space, and there is a pink hue and color throughout the whole skein. So I'll show you that. So this is batch number 1. As you can see, there is quite a bit of white space. For this is on sock wool, 80/20 merino nylon. This one actually, yeah, this one actually is, you know, like throughout, obviously, as I said, like the different batch, there's very subtle differences. Some are more pink than others, some are more white than others. There is kind of just a natural gradient happening throughout all of them, because I'm dyeing 4 at a time, so it just happens. So yeah, just if you don't know for sure, like if you know for sure what you want, like you really want less pink and more white, or the other way around, I suggest put a comment in your, if you buy one, just put a comment underneath to tell me. Obviously if you choose batch number 2, you're more likely to have more pink, but still put a comment to tell me if you really want more white or if you want more pink. Obviously you'll get what you get after the rest is sold. Like if, you know, 4 people that before you ask for the white one, it's all gone. That's what it is. So anyways, this is batch number 1. There is still like those bright coral and pink throughout. Very hard to capture on camera as always, but it's there. But there is quite a bit of white space. And in comparison, this is batch number 2. So as you can see, there is still touches of white space, although you do have like a pink hue throughout the whole skein. So there is a light difference between the 2. Not massive, you know, it's not huge difference. I did think it was worth noting though. So they're both amazing. They both have the same speckles. There's a little bit less speckling I tend to see on the batch number 2 that is more pink. And I think that's simply because the fact that it's on pink and not white has just kind of washed away some of the speckles. Anyway, so this is on sock, and here's one of each. Here, trying to find it. It's so hard to like find most of them. Okay, this is one. Okay, this is actually not a sock one, and this is a perfect example of batch number 2. This one's quite pink. So as you can see, this one is just pink throughout. Now this is what I mean. This one is obviously batch number 2, and apart from about here a little bit, and a bit here, the rest is pink. You have that deep blue going through. You still have speckles, but you have quite bit more pink. Okay. So I'll show it to you on DK now. Here is DK, wow, batch number 1. So DK, this is 100% Corridel Superwash 8-ply DK. It's gorgeous. It's super silky soft. I love knitting with this yarn. Yeah, I've just absolutely adored it. I'll show you in my podcast episode. I've knitted something for my friend with it, and yeah, I'll show you how it came out. But yeah, batch number 1 on DK. Here is batch is it batch number 2? Trying to find obviously, because I was kind of picking up on this whole leakage thing as I was dyeing different bays. Some of them have more, and because different, you know, every base is different and everything, so it's very hard to control. But pretty much, you know, like this batch number 2 of DK is not as strong of a leakage as on the Bliss Merino, which I'll show you next, simply because I kind of tried to fix that as I went. So anyway, so there's still a bit more pink, but it's not overwhelming. It's still kind of mainly the same. In the website, when you'll go and buy SJW, there is pictures taken of every base on its batch. So just click on what you want. The picture will come up with how it looks like. So you'll just have a picture reference. But here it is. Batch number 2 on Merino Bliss DK. Yeah, there's quite a bit of it. And this is batch number 1. So more concentrated, more white space. Still those beautiful speckles though. Here they are compared to each other. Honestly, like, just look at the picture reference on the website and it's about the same. If you're not worried about having more pink or less pink, just get whatever, because they still have all the components of the other one. The blue's the same, you know, the speckle's the same. Some of them obviously have more speckle than others. This is just how it happens, but they're all gorgeous and they all deserve a new house. This is on sock. So okay, I think this is a batch number 2 for it on singles. Focus please. Yeah, there we go. Would you look at that? It's just so nice. So there's 2, there's another one here. Yeah, they are so precious. I just love it. I did put a photo of a swatch knitted on single ply on Instagram, so if you want to have a look at that, it was a really quickly made swatch because I hate doing swatches. But yeah, this is what it is, and now I'll show it to you on mohair. So this is batch number 2. But they're about the same on the mohair. They just look about the same. One of them I think has a less heavy blue. So batch number 2 has, for example, this is a batch number 2 one. This is more subtle. It's almost varying on grey. Like it has still like some deep heavy blue that you can see here. But overall, it's just a more subtle color of the pink, of everything. It's like almost a peachy tone, and I really like it. So I thought about over dyeing it again, but I thought I was gonna ruin it, to be honest. So I just decided to keep it that way. But here it is, and here is a more vibrant one in comparison. So see, like this one has failed to catch like a very vibrant kind of coral spot. I'll just open it to show you. It's still gorgeous though, and it's still worth, you know, knitting with it. I think it'd be a more subtle kind of halo if you were to hold it, say, with another SJW single or whatever. It'd be like, you know, kind of more subtle on its own. But the other one still has that very bright coral. I think this is actually the one that I've picked up. This one is the one that has the brightest spot here. Most of the other ones are more on the subtle sides, or have like leakage, but this one still has like this super bright neon one. So I guess claim it in the comment box when you buy it if you want the specific one. This is a batch number 1. Okay, there you go. I'll hold most of them together to show you. Honestly, they are just so divine, and it's very hard to render on camera just because, you know, the halo and the natural light of mohair, also how bright this coral kind of is, but you have this peachy kind of tone going throughout, and then clashing with this like heavily metallic kind of gray, dark blue, and then all these wee tiny touch of speckles and colors that come and highlight the whole thing throughout. It's very delicate. On the swatch that I knitted, I did start holding mohair with it at some point to show you as well, so you can just have a look. It's super nice. Like, it just gives it a halo. It's not overwhelming. But yes, so there is 8 of them coming to the shop as well, and I think that's it for SJW. Yeah, we'll just move on from here, and I'm moving all this mess back in there. Okay, so this is the only kind of new colorway that I made for this update. I mean, as I said, I did it last update, was only 2 of them. The rest of this update, I've done some of my already known colorway. Yeah, so I'll just go through them now. So I'll start with Navy Baby and then move on. So here is Navy Baby on Merino sock, so Merino nylon. Here is compared to my skin tone. I really like this color. I mean, every time I dye, I'm in the phase now when I just want to add more layers of blues and just get this really, really deep blue. And I've almost wanted to do this with this one, but then I'm like, no, what are you doing? It's a different recipe. So I'll create a new color that's even deeper. But until then, I'll still keep Navy Baby. I know it's many of you like it, so yeah. Here it is on, is it? Yeah, it is Merino Bliss. So this is 100% Merino full ply. By the way, this Merino 4-ply is coming from Ashford. This is where I've been buying my Merino 4-ply superwash for the past year or so, more probably. Anyways, I am changing now. I'm very happy that Jackie from Wild Earth Yarn has released a 4-ply superwash yarn, and I really like her and I really like what she does, so I want to support her. I already sourced my Merino nylon from her, but I am very happy to just now source this as well. So I have changed, so this is not the same anymore. And yeah, so this is still the Ashford one, by the way. But the next update will have Wild Earth Yarn superwash yarn. So Navy Baby on Bliss. Here it is on DK. There's a couple of them here. you can see. So this is the Corriedale, 100% Corriedale. This comes from Anna Grayton, which is also amazing. Super beautiful yarn. Yeah, there you go. And I have it in the fluff. So mohair, there's a couple of them. There is a couple on each base for this one, except for single ply, who has 4. So if you want single ply, or just I adore this colorway on single ply, and again doesn't render on the camera, even you cannot really see, but all of there is teal tone, so like more on the greeny side. Navy Baby is dyed with 4 layers of blue. I start with teal, I add some navy, I add another different blue, and then I add another blue on top of that. I'm not gonna say the whole recipe, but pretty much I start with a big heavy layer of navy, and so it kind of just still come through in the final skeins at points, and I absolutely adore it. So here it is, Navy Baby on singles. I have, as I said, 4 of them here. This one's perfect to show you the tail. I don't know if you can see at the top here. If it wants to focus, I'll just give it a minute. It's really struggling. Put my big finger on the camera. Right, there it is. So this, yeah. Okay, so 4 of them, move on. All right, this is it. Now this is not a new one, this is from the last update. I will show you just really quickly, and it pairs really well with it. This is In the Valley. In the Valley I created for the last update. There is still 4 skeins of single ply available for grabs. They're beautiful, and they pair very well with the color palette that I have for this month. So like, for example, perfect with Navy Baby, and it goes perfect with Sherbet, which is the color I will show you next that I have for this update. But yeah, really good, those 2 together. Just because you've got this beautiful kind of blue coming through in the valley here, and yeah, it's just enough to tie it with this perfectly. So Sherbet is a color that I've got that I absolutely adore. It's super summery and fresh. Yeah, I just really wanted to bring that one back. It's in the same kind of ball game as like Dance Party and all this like pastel-y, fluoro, you know, light colorway. I just love them. So anyways, Sherbet. Here it is on the merino sock. This one's actually almost more, it came out more subtle on the color change than most of them. So this one's almost like unified. Normally I have more blue and like green just coming through. Like this is supposed to be more blue. For some reason it came out lighter. Maybe I just did a lighter batch. But I still think it's really nice. So, you know, as I said, there will be photos for all of these bays anyway. So just, yeah. So this is Sherbet on sock. Yay. Here it is on merino 4-ply. So yeah, I really like when this happened, which is a very like yellowish, pinky, peachy kind of highlight. Most of them should have a little bit of it, but it's not guaranteed. I don't think the sock has it, but the other one should. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. Still perfectioning that recipe at the moment, but just absolutely love it. 2 on 4-ply coming to the shop. I only have 2 of them on single ply instead of the 4 that I have for other colors. But yeah, just look at that, so beautiful. Oh my god, yeah, love it. So just a little bit of speckles of like pinky fluoro, but there is tiny micro speckles going through the colorway. Not too much, just enough to make it pop and interesting and contrasty. So those are the 2 that I've got on single ply. Claim them. I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna have single ply in the next update in October, sorry. So yeah, if you're into it, just get them, because I have to import it from overseas. Here it is in the fluff. Mohair, absolutely gorgeous, just so nice. Like, yeah, I love it. This one is, yeah, there's 2 of them on the fluff. Love it. That's it. I also forgot to say, but I am also bringing as another base to the shop on a few colorways. I'll show it to you now actually. I had it before, it was another base from Jackie, and it is like 80% Paul was 20% alpaca, and it's gorgeous. It's organic, non-superwash, non-treated, all natural, beautiful, very like grippy. There it is. This is on Mocha Loca. I have 2 of them on Mocha Loca that I'm bringing, and I only had like 6 skeins left of this from a previous update. And so I did 2 on Mocha Loca. I absolutely adored it, and I was wondering if everyone wanted a sweater quantity, and I put a poll in my stories on Instagram, and either if people wanted to see a sweater quantity of Mocha Loca in the shop, or if I should just dye the other colors of the update on this base, which is what people have chosen. And I have done it, but it's still wet and like drying, so I can't actually show it to you in this episode. But just so you know, I will have 2 Navy Baby, I will have 2 sherbet, and I will have 2 milkshake in this base as well. So if you're someone that don't want any superwash yarn and organic, this is the one for you. Which, by the way, I will have more and more organic base in future. I do love my superwash yarn. This is what I like to think I specialize in, just because the way I dye, the colors, the vibrancy, the speckles, this is how I like it. But I totally understand the attraction for organic yarn, and so I will definitely have more of that in future, so keep an eye out for it. There it is. Okay, so I will then show you a milkshake. So milkshake is my very light dusty baby pink colorway. It's totally like cherry blossom kind of color, and it's perfect for this season. I really like it. It's a staple pink to have. So here it is on sock. Not much. So it's a semi-solid. There is no speckle of this one, so just a semi-solid autumnal kind of color. Here it is on merino, full ply. Yeah, it's just a super nice, like shiny, pearly kind of like light pink. It shows less pink on camera than it actually is. It's just a touch more pink in real life, but it's very dusty as well, which I love. I have 4 of them on single. Here it is. Yeah, it's just super nice. Like, I put pictures of that on my Instagram already, but yeah, single ply. Like, imagine just hold it like just a single ply top. In my podcast episode, I will show you how I knitted it's a very V-neck raglan by Jessie May, and I made it in just 1 strand of single ply in my Versailles colorway, but I'll show that in the podcast. But anyway, you could totally just do that. It's a summery kind of lighter version because it's supposed to be DK initially, but you can just knit it with single ply, which is like a fingering weight. And yeah, I really like it. You could either do it like me, just with 1 strand, which only took 2 skeins, not even like I think a skein and a quarter of another skein, so really don't need much. I personally cropped it and didn't do long sleeves though, that's why. And you could hold it with the fluff to make it even better. Look at it, this is so good. So here it is on mohair as well. I've got 2 on mohair. I mean, most of them have 2 on, except for as I said, single ply. There is 4 milkshake and 4 on Navy Baby, and also 4 on Virgo, which is another color that I'll show you in a second. Just to finish, here it is on the Corridale DK. Gorgeous. And this is an accidental tiny speckle that happens, so yeah, every now and then it happens. Just cut it out if you don't want it. There really shouldn't be many of them, but it can happen. So yeah, Corridale. Okay, that's it. And so to finish this is all the color palette of this month. To finish the color palette, I have Virgo. So I created 2 years ago, I'd say more than that, a zodiac collection, and I had a color for each of them, and I've like turned it off since then. I'm very happy with some of the colors, less with others, and I just decided that now every month, because I'm doing monthly colorways, monthly update, I will bring back the like a, you know, zodiac color for all of these months, and some of them will be recreated, and some of them I'll just keep the initial color that I had, initial recipe. So Virgo, I kept what I had because I know it was a popular one and I really like it myself. So let me show you. I have it here on the DK. So we're going all pink this update. So this is like as I was mentioning before, like a corally kind of pink. So that it has like, you know, accents of bright orange throughout, but it's mainly kind of peachy pink as a base, and then it just has those, yeah, those super bright kind of orange and coral popping, and then there's little black and teal speckles as well. So that's the Corridel DK. It's, yeah, I'll show you the picture, but at the end I'll show you combos, but it just pairs very well with pretty much every color that we've got for this update. Here it is on the Bliss Merino 4-ply. I just realized that I don't have it on sock, so I'll just dye 2 more on sock ready for this update. But here it is on the single ply. There is 4 of them on the single ply. Yay. Super cute, super nice. Quite bright, so you need to like vibrancy, because it does come out pretty bright. This one's even a bit more pink throughout, and has this like super nice teal and orange there. Yay. Okay. Now, before I show you yarn combo, I will speak about what else will come in the shop. This is it for the color palette of this month. Although I am bringing more yarn, another thing that I am bringing is a new collection of sale, which will be discounted yarn, and they're all one of a kind. So every now and then I make mistakes while dyeing. I don't throw it away. I keep that skein and I just over dye it eventually with another color. Which is what I did this time. So all of the mistake skein, or you know, whatever I have left on my shelf, gets a new lease on life and a new overlay of color, and then I bring it to you. So I will show you what I have. In this collection you will be able to browse it by the yarn type and yarn like base and yarn weight of your choice, simply because yeah, they're not going to have a name. All of them are one of a kind. So yeah, that's it. So just go and select the colors that you like, and then you can browse oak number 1, oak number 2, whatever, and I have a picture of that associated. So let's start with Corridel DK. We've got this green, very rich green. It's got like little red speckle throughout. I don't know if you can see this very well, but yeah, it's really nice. Dark mossy forest green, not mossy, more on the blue tone, so very cool kind of green, emeraldy, you know. And then we have this one, so still Corridel DK. This one reminds me, if not exactly almost the same as my old Meandre colorway. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that one, which was a mix of teal and red. And I'm hoping to bring that one back eventually, but god, it was very hard to dye. I always end up making batches that I didn't like, because it's just, yeah, so I need to tweak the recipe and recreate it pretty much. But love that one, it's so nice. So goes very well with it as well, because there is those greens coming throughout. Yes, let me see, I think, no, there is one more DK, and it's this kind of beautiful rainbow color. It's got a bit of everything. It's really hard to describe them. They're all just, I honestly just have fun with them, and I throw dye at them and just, you know, create. So those are very unique and eccentric, so bear that in mind. They'll all be on a discounted price, which reminds me, I forgot to say, I am, because as I said, I'm changing my 4-ply merino superwash base, and I'm going from Ashford to Wild Earth yarn, which cost me a little bit less, so I will discount my just not discount, but just like change the price of my 4-ply merino superwash from $32 a skein back to $30 a skein. So there you go. But these were initially $30 a skein. They will be discounted at $25. So $25 for this guy. Yay. Okay, so that's it for DK. I will show you what I've got on sock. I've got 2 on sock. I've got this guy, which is similar to the one we just seen. Just, it's like, it's almost like, because it's been over dyed quite a bit, it's got those super beautiful like pink and like lilac and all of this like aqua coming through, but it has like almost like a layer of light gray almost throughout the whole thing, just because it's been over dyed quite a few times, and that can result in like muckiness, people would say, but I really like it. I think it gives it this dusty, just unique color. So yeah, this is an 80/20 sock. I also have this one on 80/20 sock. There you go. This is really nice as well. It's just like very dark black and blues, and then over dye. This was a colorway. Actually, I think this was a mistake Oreo's kind. If you know my Oreo colorway, it's black and white and has lots of blue, a different blue speckle throughout. And this was over dyed afterwards. So yeah, there it is. And on full play still, but on Merino Bliss, I've got this guy, which is similarly goes very well with the sock I was just showing you before. Just for I'll show you. I did put a picture of that on Instagram, but they go very well together. And they're both full play, so you could hold them even though they're not the same. This one's 100% merino. Very dark grey blue. Yeah, this is it. Cool. And yeah, that's mostly it. No, that there is some mohair as well. I've got 3 little mistake skeins of mohair. There they are. They have like this lilac base throughout, and then just lots of color pop. That is pink, that is more like mauve, and like, yeah, even yellow that you can see. Where is it? There. Like a bit of orange, blue. Just as I said, I'm throwing everything in the pot and I see what sticks. So there is 3 of them on mohair, 50 gram. There is 450 meters per 50 gram skeins. That's it. Okay, so let me now show you some yarn combos. You can pretty much guess most of them, but I like to show you a couple of them. So yeah, in here, as I said before, we can do a 3 skein fade, which would be really cute in this tone. So we have Navy Baby at first, and then In the Valley that has those blue, and then fades perfectly with Sherbet. Like, those look really cool together. Yay. So similarly, just those 2, honestly. If you don't want to, if you ditch the blue and you just keep these 2, they look great. So that would work really nicely. So here you could pair Navy Baby with Virgo, sorry, and Milkshake. Like, just really, really nice. Again, this is quite a harsh transition from Navy Baby to Virgo, but like, you do have, you know, this like teal speckles going throughout it, so it just works. Like, I don't know, I'm a fervent, I like harsh transition, in which you only have a little bit of a color. I think it's great. And then you definitely have some of the similar pink from here to here, so you can melt them really nicely together. Virgo in itself, however, is perfect to melt with, you've guessed it, SJW. So don't know if this is the best cane to show you that, but pretty much. What? Let me try and see. Yeah, I mean, that's it. So you get like the same here, coral, bright pink or whatever, from the 2. So you can totally just melt these 2 together, and there will be like match made in heaven to the max. And then if you want, again, just add another Milkshake behind. It works quite well. A Navy Baby and an SJW together. You'd go from this more metallic, heavier blue to this more like lighter ocean blue, if that makes sense. But because there is so much speckle of blue going through SJW, you do have like hints of it, which, you know, again, harsh transition works quite well in my opinion. So then just add, well, you know, like another SJW if you want, and then add a Virgo. Cannot find it, but you get me. There. So yeah, that works. You can get something along those lines. SJW, Virgo, Navy Baby all together work really well. Now, Mocha Loca. And as I said, I have like more color coming in this one, which you could really nicely pair with a Navy Baby here in the Corridel, so not the same base. And with, they're not the same base, I'm just showing the colors. And with Milkshake, I just think these 3 together are really nice. Like, this is just a nice, really colored palette. So yeah, this is a possible yarn combo as well. forgot to say, but for Virgo, I don't have any on mohair. I'm sorry guys, I ran short on mohair. Too late for me to get some, so Virgo is the only one of this color palette this month that doesn't have a mohair equivalent, which I'm sorry about, but that's it. Okay, so I really also like personally these two together, so sherbet and milkshake together. I just think they're really nice. They're just like, so they're in the same categories of like soft pastel, so that works always really well. But yeah, if you wanted to just go for mohair, again, I'll show it again, but just like on the fluff, this blue together is pretty good. Yeah, that's mainly it. Like, you can obviously just create more combos, just play with them. If you're not sure about how one yarn can look with another, just feel free to message me and I can show that to you. But yeah, I'm trying to see. Yeah, SJW could maybe melt with this unique one-of-a-kind sale selection one. It has more grey black than SJW has, but you can see here the navy blue, like not the navy, sorry, the very dark blue is similar as well. So you could do this potentially as well. I do believe that this one would also go quite well with either in the valley, yeah, different base, but again just showing the colors, or sherbet. So this is another potential one that you could do. As you can see, these two have this green kind of similar colors here, so that would be quite nice as well. Yeah, I can't really think of any more combos, but you can definitely just do some more. So yeah, I will quickly chat about what else I'm bringing to the shop and then leave you guys to see you another time. So on top of all of this, this month I am so pumped, I am bringing my first club's membership to yeahyeahyarn. So what is a club? If you've never heard of it, a club is pretty much just a membership subscription that you get with me, in which you will receive, you can choose either 1 skein or 3 skein, which will be a fade, every month for a total of 3 months. So you don't know what you buy, right? You're not gonna know what color it is, but there is a mood board associated with it. I created 2 different mood board. One of them is called Spring Wave, and it's all about this really like pastel-y. So like, for example, sherbet is a perfect example of something that could end up in this you know, club. Well, obviously I'm creating all new colorways for it, so I'm not gonna put like existing colorways. Everything is going to be new and made specifically tailored for this colorway, but this is just an example of the kind of color we're talking about. There is a mood board associated with each club, so go onto the product page of the club and then scroll, like read the description. Please read the description. There is a lot of information in the description, especially regarding shipping, which I'll talk in a minute about. Make sure you read that intensely so you know what you're purchasing. Yeah. After that, scroll down to the bottom. Well, I mean, not after that actually. First of all, scroll to the bottom and look at all the photos. I have attached a lot of photos, and they're all here to give you an idea of the color palette I'm going to be working with. All right. And so Spring Wave is the summery one, which is like lots of pastels, lots of little pops of color, but just still super like, you know, calm little palette. Like, it's not going to be super bright or anything. It'll be just, yeah, pastels galore. And then you have Melancholia, which will be the more moody, earthy club. So that one, just think, you know, again, there's a mood board attached, so go see the picture, but think like rainy forest in the winter, and, you know, just like grays and very dark green, autumnal colors. Just all of that will be in the Melancholia colorway. So if you're more into earthy tone and natural colors, this is more for you. So once you choose which one is your vibe, which color you like the most, you can go onto the product page. You can then read the description. As I said again, choose the membership that you want. So, well, yeah, choose the yarn base you want first. So yarn base you want, there is 2 options. I'm making one on Bliss Merino full ply. I'm keeping the name Bliss, but it will be with Jackie's yarn from Wildest Yarn, just so you know. So one, it will be on full ply merino superwash, the other one on Corridel DK superwash. Sorry, I'm bringing on only on superwash for this first club. I'm only bringing 2 base. It's quite a bit of work. I've never done it before. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right the first time around, but it will come back if it's a success for sure. So don't worry too much if you miss out. Slots, as I said, are very limited. I am only bringing 3 slots per membership per club. So 3 spring wave on Merino, 3 spring wave on Corriedale, 3 spring wave on, you get it. So that's it. And then so once you've chosen your club color, once you've chosen the base you want, you have to choose the membership you want. So membership number 1 will give you 1 skein per month for a total of 3 months. The first skein arrive, it's the same for both. The first skeins, first product will arrive a month, pretty much roughly after you purchase the club, and then every month similarly after that. Membership number 2, if you want to go all out, is a 3 skein fade every month for 3 months. So similarly, but you get 3 skeins and there will be a fade, all still in the same color palette, and obviously, yeah, working that way. The 3 skein fades are unique. They're not going to follow, like it's not going to be a 3 skein fade that then fade into the next 3 skein fade and then on from that. It's just they're all 3 skein fades separately. Yeah, so that's mainly how it is. So there will be I will add little goodies to like the product thing. Might not be able to add most of them until the actual final package, and I can't exactly tell you just why, because I have a little bit of surprise for that, but I am working on adding little things to that. I am just not going to tell you what it is. It's part of the surprise, so you'll be surprised with the color and what comes in the package. Don't be super surprised if the first package only arrives with yarn and maybe tidbits and not that much more, simply because I'm still working on getting the final package to you, which will be the main one, so 3 months later. Yeah, so that's mainly it. Shipping, very important. Please do not buy this club without reading the shipping requirements section of the description product. The reason I'm saying that is because there is pretty much no way for me to add a shipping price to this product on Shopify, my website, because I have limited slots, and because shipping is so different for everyone, because it's 3 different shipping, right? We're talking 3 different months, 3 different shipping, and it'll be super different depending if you buy it from New Zealand or if you buy it from overseas. It will also be different if you buy the 1 skein membership or the 3 skein membership. So pretty much I cannot include the shipping in the cost. So what you buy does not include the shipping. Just before you buy it, scroll down. I have a shipping estimate down there that I've created that will give you an idea, or a rough idea, pretty much, no, I'm pretty sure idea of exactly how much shipping you're going to be expected to pay for this on top of it. So once the product has been purchased, either contact me, or if you don't, I will contact you shortly after and ask you to pay the shipping on top of it so that I can do that. I will ask for the shipping to be paid all at once, so like the 3 months of shipping be paid all at once after purchasing the product. If it isn't, it'll just be refunded to you and given to the next person. But that's just really be careful with that. I don't want people to go and buy it out of excitement and then don't realize that if they live overseas especially, they'll have like a pretty hefty maybe shipping on top of it, because 3 shipping, yeah. If you're about, like, if some people want to ask, oh, can I get all 3 of them in 1 shipping? The answer is yes, but you will have to wait the whole 3 months and get all of them at the end. I am not gonna dye all of the, especially if you get, like, say, the 3 skein membership, right? So that's 9 skeins total in a month to deliver you after that. So if you really don't want to pay more shipping than necessary and you'd rather receive all of it at once, it's possible. Just explain that to me, but you will have to wait the final delivery date that I'm doing for all of people, for all clubs, which will be 3 months. Not after the date of purchasing, with 4 months after the date of purchasing, because the first skein is delivered a month after, and then so you get it. But yeah, that's it. So there will be, as I said, a shipping estimate down the bottom, and that will show you, if you live in New Zealand, pretty much how much to pay. It will be, if you're in New Zealand, the parcels will be tracked, and it will be different price if you get the membership number 1 or the membership number 2, and if you're overseas it will have to be individually calculated, but there will be an estimate per continent pretty much. So you know, USA, Australia, Asia, Europe, so there will be like a rough estimate. This estimate does not include tracking, so if you want to have a tracked parcel, which I recommend with COVID and the delays and everything, it's quite more expensive, but that's why I'm not including it. If you want to have a tracked parcel, you have to let me know, and then we can calculate together how much that will cost to you, and if you want to have it every month, or if you want to have it all at once at the end, whatever. So it's all tailored afterwards. Yeah, just a big note as well, if you do want to buy the club membership but you're overseas, this is on you. Just make sure that there is a possibility that it will not arrive every month, simply because even though I will ship it every month, you know, COVID, so I can't really have much say on that. So that's why I'm recommending to get tracking. I think that's it, you guys, for the flash the yarn section, and that's it. Yeah, my camera is about to cut too, so thank you so much. Follow me down there. My camera capped, which is annoying, but I want to say a proper goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have, and if you've watched all the way through here, yeah, so that was really fun. I will release these episodes monthly, as I said before. Update. I'll mount this guy and release it hopefully either today or Saturday, so you can have a quick look at what's coming to the shop. And yeah, I'll see you next month. And I'm releasing, as I said, a podcast episode very soon, probably next week. So yeah, thanks guys, bye.